Okay, we talked about this, actually talked about it Monday, talked about it Tuesday. There is this confluence of actions here in Washington, big week on Capitol Hill, because there are some things that are kind of colliding. One is a continuing resolution to fund government. Government will cease, well, not really. It will run out of money. It's actually ran out of money a long time ago. They've just been spending money they don't have. But nonetheless, the authorization bills end at 12:01 a.m. Friday morning. So they're working on this continuing resolution to fund government for a little bit longer until they can get the appropriations bills, okay? Add to that, they are bumping up against this ceiling of their ability to borrow money or print money. And that, according to the Secretary of the Treasurer, will be completely exhausted October the 18th. So they have to raise the debt ceiling. Well, today in the House Rules Committee, there was another attempt to get a measure through that would essentially enlist Republicans in the Senate to lift the debt ceiling so that more money could be spent. Now, this debt ceiling would be lifted until December the 17th, 2022, which is at the very end of the current Congress. And if passed, the bill would enable Democrats to spend as much as they want. There would be no limit on the debt ceiling. But I can tell you, I don't think it's going anywhere in the Senate. Joining us now to talk all about this, Michael Burgess. He represents the 26th District of Texas. He serves on both the House Rules Committee that handled this today and the Budget Committee. He's also the senior member of the Energy and Commerce Committee, so he's a busy guy, but he joins us now. Congressman, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Well, thanks for having me on, Tony. You're right; it has been a busy day, but oh boy, what a what a feast for someone who loves public policy. Only problem is this is all bad policy.
Yeah. Okay. So what's up here? We know Mitch McConnell's been very clear. The Senate Republicans are not going to vote to raise the debt ceiling, but yet here's another measure that's going to probably, I don't know if you voted on it yet. You'll vote on it this evening. Or by tomorrow, and this is going to go over to the Senate. They're going to reject it. What's this all about?
Well, correct. We will vote on it actually probably in about 10 minutes' time here. At this on the House side, I don't think they'll get any Republican votes. They'll pass it because they have a bare majority in the House. It will go over to the Senate. It will be subject to their filibuster rules, so they will not have the votes to pass it in the Senate. So it's one of those things is dead on arrival. Eventually, they do have, of course, their reconciliation bill, and they can pass things with 50 votes in the Senate if they can get everyone to play along. So they have the ability to raise the debt ceiling with Democrat-only votes. So this is all a sham about that we're playing with the full faith and credit of the United States. The problem is they want this blank check to spend as much as they want for, 14 or 15 months. That's no way to have a responsible federal government. You know what's going to happen. And then, of course, you've got the Bernie Sanders $3.5 trillion bill that's hanging out there in the wings. The only way to pass that is to get the extension of the debt limit, essentially limit. That way they can spend whatever they want. So that's where it all fits together. But I think Leader McConnell is right. It's not this one we're doing right now on the House floor is going nowhere in the Senate.
Yeah, I was talking with some over on the Senate side today, and their take on this. This is all about political posturing by the Democratic Party. They know the Republicans won't support it. They'll ultimately have to put it in reconciliation, but they want to be able to pin this on Republicans, this reckless spending. And I'll have to say, I commend the Republicans this time for saying we're not going to have any part in this.
Well, and there's so many bad things in that reconciliation bill. Having the privilege of serving on Energy and Commerce, where about $500 billion of the spending occurs, and it's serving on the Budget Committee. Tony, we marked up a $3.5 trillion spending bill in the Budget Committee on a Zoom call late Saturday night. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. It was a stinking Zoom call that spent $3.5 trillion. Oh, and by the way, we don't even have a CBO score on it. So the Committee on the Budget passed a bill without input from the Congressional Budget Office. I mean, simply defies gravity that they could govern this way.
Well, in that $3.5 trillion, the $3 trillion, the $1.5 trillion that they're pushing through, all of this has actually pushed aside the responsibility that they have to pass appropriations bills, which fund normal actions of government. So we're talking about the $7 trillion. I mean, these huge numbers. This is on top of the regular appropriations, is it not?
Yes, it is. And here's the damage from not doing appropriations in the normal way. I cannot get a phone call answered from any of the federal agencies. They don't need to talk to me because we're not writing their appropriations bills like we normally would. They don't have to worry about getting the votes of a Texas congressman. Just put him on the list and we'll call him when we get around to it. We cannot have federal agencies non-responsive to the people's representatives, but that's basically what we've got now.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's why the Congress has the purse strings. It holds the executive branch accountable for their actions, which affect your constituents.
Correct. The administrative state right now says we don't need to talk to you, Mr. Congressman. We just talk to the White House. And then, this one for me, as a Texas representative, it buried within this huge reconciliation bill. They want to expand Medicaid in the state.
Right, and no protections no hide protection. So you're going to force taxpayers to be a part of funding abortion. It's just unbelievable. Congressman Burgess, always great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Good deal. Thank you.